Hi folks, we're here at the Indian Echo Caverns. Going to get ready to take a cavern tour, and it's be pretty interesting. I was here many years ago. So I don't know if anything would, I doubt would change. Probably maybe some of the stalactites and that maybe changed, grew a little bit, but we're going to take a tour here in a second. So I'll see you when we're down in the cavern. Hi folks, this is Noble Al here. We are at the Indian Echo Caverns, and we are just getting ready to go down into the cavern. And so, I believe the temperature there all year round is 50 degrees. So we're going down these big, beautiful steps that go down here, or ramp, whatever it is.
I don't know.
Yep, it is. Here is the entrance to the cavern. We're getting ready to tour here shortly. You can see how far down we are. Trees way up there. Go down here, and we're way down here. We have 21 people in the group touring.
By a man named Mr. Bieber. Alright, now, it's not Justin Bieber, the pop singer, alright, not that guy, but Mr. Bieber. Now, he was a businessman, alright, he went into the caverns, saw all the beauties inside, and decided to commercialize it, alright, to make some money. Now, do you guys know what major U.S. event occurred in 1929? Hint, it was not good. Exactly. So soon, the Depression hit, and Bieber and most Americans went bankrupt real fast. Alright? Fast forward 15 years, the current owners of this property bought this place from Bieber. Now, there are 3 generations into this business, and they were the ones.
Cavern. See everything up on above us. Rocks. Entrance. Kinda a little dark in here, but kinda stay with the guide.
Alrighty guys, flash photography and video recording in the caverns is absolutely allowed. I'm going to call up the video opportunity.
You always gotta watch your head in here. Looks like a cathedral.
I'll show you later, but in the northern canyons, all that was blown out using dynamite. So this is the rubble. Place it on the side.
So it's not like it gets deeper. It's just
Yeah. You don't put it on. Sure. Very bad.
Remember the time last time I was there, guy shut the lights off in the cavern just to show how dark it gets in there.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be one of the parts later. All the way in there.
Yeah.
All the lights on, can't see a thing. All right. So we are now currently in our Indian ballroom. All right, the biggest room in the entire cavern system, measuring around 49 feet high and 110 feet wide. Now, this room was formed millions of years ago when two ancient streams of groundwater were met in this room. All right, the first stream would have come out of the eastern canyons over here, while the second stream would have come out of the northern canyons back there. All right, again, these two streams would have collided in this room, creating a whirlpool. And as this whirlpool has gone faster and faster, over time, it would have eroded away all the rock in this room, leaving what we see today. All right, a basic outline and structure of this room. Now, however, formations, as we see along the room, like the cave guardian up here, all right, the flowstone on the walls, or even this stalactite, were not formed during the whirlpool. Instead, these formations were formed after that whirlpool. So, before we explore these formations in detail, that roundhouse on top of the steps, that should be right up here. So, we are now essentially 90 feet underneath the surface. Alright, 90 feet, pretty cool. Now, our first formation.
Continuing on here. It's like an underground city. Oh, I just got tripped on. Looks like a face right there.
Base?
Yeah, it looks like a face when you look at it at a certain angle.
Yeah.
I think all that water's coming down from the past rains we had.
All the rainwater. Just
Yeah.
about 3 days.
Yeah, it soaks into the ground and it gets through here.
Yeah.
Might
All
even-
filtered waterways.
Yeah,
Keep drinking.
might even have a cavern under our house. You never know.
Yeah.
I always thought about that.
All right. So we are now currently in our blue room. All right. Now this room is called the blue room because of all the blue limestone that we see surrounding us, head to toe. All right. All blue limestone. Now, if you guys look all the way up there, we have an entire wall full of engravings. All right. This is all done by explorers in the 1600s. All right. They would stay up there at night, rest, and in the morning they will leave their mark before heading out to explore the rest of the caverns. All right. We call this wall the Wall of Engravings. All right. Very original name, I know. And again, it's just all done by explorers in the 1600s. All right. Now, this room is also called the fairy tale room. All right, because this room comes with a short fairy tale. Now, who likes fairy tales in here? Yeah, fairy tales. All right. Now, this fairy tale starts off thousands of years ago in this very room, where there lived a giant, all right, whose head scraped the ceiling. He lived here with his best friend, the mummy. All right. Now, these two were tight, and every night the mummy, the giant, would stay in this big hole over here to rest, while mummy would stay right next to him in the smaller hole over here. All right. Now, these two would read out of this book over here every night. See that book?
Slate book.
But one night, as these two were reading out of that book over there, all was quiet and still until the two heard a terrifying and haunting noise. Now, of course, this absolutely freaked out the two of them, as they believed that they were alone in this room by themselves. So, the mummy, being the faster one, tried to jump onto the ground to investigate the source of this ruckus. But as it was so dark in here, you couldn't see very well. Alright? So the mummy, he jumped, he missed, and instead he collided head on with the wall over here, leaving the imprint of his head, body, and little legs. Alright? Then proceeded to bolt out of this room as fast as his little legs could take him. Now the giant tried to follow his best friend, but he was a smidge slower. Alright? The giant jumped onto the ground, but as he was heading out, his head collided with the natural bridge right up there, leaving a huge crater. And of course, this gave him a massive headache, so in his confusion, he fell over backwards, leaving a size 600 shoe mark up on the ceiling. Wow. Big shoes, right? Size 600. Yeah, they don't get them anymore. Now, these two were of course furious that somebody had managed to scare them out of their own house. So eventually, over time, the two mustered up their courage, alright, and decided to come.
If you have claustrophobia, you definitely don't want to walk through some of these parts here because they're very narrow. You just got to watch your head for low-hanging rocks, but you don't hit your head. And also watch out for puddles here too. Get your socks wet.
So, we are now currently in our rainbow room, alright? Now, this room is called the rainbow room, thanks to the different varieties of color that was seen all along the room, alright? And for its abundance of plant life as well.
Maybe hard to see those colors, but
we have some algae going right here. We have some moss
see a
going
little
all the
bit.
way up there. Alright, some grass growing back behind you guys. And you look down here, we have some ferns growing as well. Alright. Now, you may be wondering, how come there are plants in here when it's like super dark all the time, right? Plant spores will attach to our clothing, alright, once come in here, and these plant spores will then float off and attach to their light source. Alright, for example, we see all of these plant life grow where they're relatively close to lights. Now, because there's water in here, and these lights act as the sun basically, these plants can go through photosynthesis and then begin to grow. Now, if we never opened up these caverns at all, and just kept them closed all the time, there will be absolutely no plant life in here at all. Just rocks. Now, in this room, in 1919, 3 boys came down here. They were schoolboys. And, maybe, I don't know. But as these 3 boys made their way through this room, alright, they saw, to their surprise, a 4x4-inch mystery wooden box tucked that white lighted. Alright, now, these boys, of course, took this box out and opened it up. Inside, they found, to their surprise, a bunch of historical coins. Now, these are not your average pennies and quarters, but instead, the oldest coin they were so old, it was not even dated. Alright? And it was at the time of the Roman Empire, the emperor.
You gotta walk through and you gotta watch your head. You really hurt yourself. Interesting figures here. Dripping water coming down here. Just gonna walk in and watch my head. Interesting. Little, ooh, yeah, that's cool. There's like a pond in here.
Keep behind your back all the way to our wedding chapel.
Pond of water. It's kind of like circulating around. That is cool. It's like blue water. Walking through here is hopefully people don't have claustrophobia because some of these hallways get pretty narrow and low. If you're a tall person, you have to kind of like walk around here bent down so you don't bang your head. Wow. How cool is that? That natural water.
All natural, yeah.
Okay.
Just basically like a basin.
They put no chlorine or nothing in it.
No.
Okay.
All natural.
That's cool.
Yeah. '76ers fan?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that was a good game last night.
Yeah,
I like
it
to
was.
look at those Boston fans with it.
Yeah.
Well, see, hopefully they do well at the next. They can run them out of town.
Yeah.
Therese Maxey and B looked pretty good last
Yeah,
night.
you did.
He's playing in some pain at the end. Wow.
So, we are now currently in our wedding chapel, alright? Now, this room is called a wedding chapel because 4 or 5 times a year, couples actually can get married.
Just
down
standing
here.
on a man-made
Alright,
bridge
our
here.
room will be all the way down there where the dead end is. And on the bridge here, there'll just be around 4 to 5 people for the wedding guests. It's a very, very small party, of course. Now, in this room, we have our signature 16.5 layer wedding cake with brilliant vanilla icing all over it. That cake is right over here. Alright, now, with that big of our cake, our one more night.
We are approximately around 100 feet below ground level down here. See places you see signatures. I don't know if you can see that or not. Massive rock formations. Looks like new stalactites are forming. You can see it right there. Little ones. Yeah, I'm kind of watching my steps here.
Oh yeah, yep, definitely.
And down the steps, just walking cautiously, so we slip. Because it's a little wet.
Here's one secret cake. Okay. Also a living cavern like this one. But if you get so damaged by spores, it won't be grow. So you cut all the stuff in there.
Oh.
It's like it shouldn't be working. Someone be working.
So it's what was a living, now it's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
As a result, you get to.
Remember living in Virginia, we went to a place over here, Luray Caverns.
Luray Caverns, yes.
Yeah, been to that. It's a pretty good one too. A lot of stalactites that come,
Yeah.
stalagmites.
Yeah, also like Penn's Cave.
Uh-huh.
Still couldn't count them all. Alright. So we are now currently in our last room, the Wilson room. Alright. Now, this room is called the Wilson room because of the Pennsylvania hermit that lived here for 19 straight years, and his name was William Amos Wilson. Now, do you guys know what a hermit is? Not crab. Anybody? Hermit? No? Alright, well, a hermit is somebody that lives a little away from society, usually, or almost always secluded in a really wacky place, like a cave. Alright, now Wilson, he was a hermit. Every night he would sleep on a ledge right up there. That was his bed, basically. And he would use a rope, alright, tie that rope to this stalagmite over here to climb up and down day and night. Alright, you can still see the rope burns on the sides from all the years of that rope being dragged back and forth. Alright, down here is Wilson's campfire. You have the best location. If you look along the walls here, all this black, that is soot from campfires. Alright, 19 years worth of soot. Now, the heat rising up would have risen underneath where he slept, creating the world's first heated mattress. Alright, kept him toasty all night long as he slept. Now, Wilson, he did odd jobs for a farmer friend who lived across the river. Alright, in exchange, he would get all his basic necessities, so as food, water, gas lamps, matches, clothes, etc. Again, he did for 19 straight years until he sadly passed away peacefully, alright, in his sleep as he napped at the age of 59 years old. Alright? Now, he was discovered from a friend who he worked for, and as that farmer friend was in here, he found Wilson's diary tucked right in there, around like this. And this diary contains Wilson's entire life story, his upbringing, his childhood, his family, his sister's tragedy. All of it was documented. Alright? Wilson, farmer friend, made a copy of Wilson's diary, and the farmer's copy is still viewed today at the Penn Museum, although the original one has been lost. We're not sure where it is. Now, Wilson was buried on the farmer's.
Nice Madera Creek here. Now all the trees are getting greener. Makes a good picture.
I'll see you guys, alright?
So if you ever have a tornado, you don't have to worry about it. Just go right in there and you'll be protected.
Yeah.
Okay, it was easier coming down. Now I have to go back all these steps, so I'll be back. Nice peacocks. All white one. And you look up there, it has multi-colors. He's walking across now. Maybe show us his feathers. Hard to see, it's kind of shadowy, but this one has a long tail. Can't see that one in my... Hey, little chickie. What you up to? Yeah. What you up to, little chickie? Yeah, they were down in the cave there. Pretty much every place we're standing on here was below us. 100 feet at least. Some places 120 feet, even where our cars are parked. So underneath all of this here is the cavern down there. And so maybe check your house property. Maybe you could have a cavern under your house. Anyway, nice area. It's been a while since I've been out here, since 2007.